Hello, guys. Welcome to Wealth FX, and this is your host, Mr. Babs. And yeah, today I'm going to be showing you another very beautiful concept in the trading space that has given me quite some very wonderful profits. Yeah, and that is what I call chart patterns. Now, chart patterns. Let me chart patterns, and yeah, so I'm going to be talking about chart patterns, and I'm going to be showing you five major chart patterns that you can use in any in any financial markets, trading markets, crypto, stocks, option, whatsoever it is. Now, the first one we're going to be talking about is the double top and double bottom. uh, and the first one is the double top and double bottom. Now I'll show you how this chart patterns look like so that you can also identify them easily on your charts. Now that's the first one. The second one, now okay, before I go to the second one, let me show you what the double top looks like. Now the double top looks like this. Color. And the double top looks like this when price gets to this point. Now you have, let me use this chart. This is gold. Now let me use the gold chart to show you what the double top looks like. So let's assume that this high is some form of resistance. If I zoom out, I am very sure this is an ATH. We call it all-time high. Now with this, I am expecting what a double top will look like if I am using this chart would be price gets to that top, then pulls back, tries to break, maybe weak into this zone, and then close below and break below this last low. Now, when you see you have top one and then you have the top two. So now most times you have kind of a small pullback around this area, or maybe towards the retest of the break, and price continues lower. Now this pattern, if you flip it over, you have the double bottom. Now this is the double top version, which is for catching or picking sell trades entry. Now the double bottom, which is the bullish version, to catch buy. Now let's assume this price pulls back, and then finds its way to this area. Now we would expect that, okay, at this area maybe price will do some form of pullback, and then a new change of character, higher lows, and continue higher. Now a double bottom would be this bottom one and bottom two. Now I tell my students, I say it is important about to focus on whatsoever you are paying attention to, where you find it. It's not about what you see, it's about where you see it. Now a double bottom, it will most likely be best applied at maybe a previous demand zone. As you can see, this is a previous demand zone, or a previous break and retest zone, or a previous resistance zone, the optimum trading zones. That's how you use the double bottom. Now the second chart pattern I'm going to be talking about in this video Yeah. The second chart pattern I'm going to be talking about in this video would be the head and shoulder pattern. Now the head and shoulder pattern, what does it look like? Now let's say we want to use this same chart just for simple illustration. Now the head and shoulder pattern. Now for this particular chart pattern, the bullish version is the head and shoulder. The bearish version, sorry, that's the sell, is the head and shoulder pattern, while the bullish version is the inverted head and shoulder. Now I'll show you what that means in a minute. Now this is what it looks like for the head and shoulder, which is for sell trades. You expect, let's see, price gets to this point, and then you notice that at some for some reason price does a pullback and now breaks out into a high, and now on getting to that high, for some reason it did not continue, but instead it decided to pull back, that it broke below. Now maybe for some reason it tried to come to this zone but did not get to the last high. Now remember, you have your first high here. Now you have a new high, but now you have a lower high. Now this pattern is what we call, this is the head, this is the left shoulder, and this is the right shoulder. Now this is for catching sell trades. Now most times when you see things like this, you just see price do some very wonderful moves, and it can give you some really profitable margins and return. Now the bearish version of this and the bullish version, this is the bearish version. Now the bullish version would be, one second. Now the bullish version would be something like this. Now on price getting, let's assume we're using this area. On price getting to this place, maybe all the way down, pulls back, and then down to this area, and you notice for some reason price does this, and then another lower low, but doesn't break below, rejects this area, does this, and then starts going back in the bullish direction. Now this would be the head, and this would be the left shoulder, and then this would be the right shoulder. Now let me put it there so you can see. This will be the head, this will be the right shoulder, and then this will be the left shoulder. So you can use this to catch some really good moves, and your take profit could be somewhere around here, maybe stop loss below the last low, and then imagine catching all of this. Sometimes best you catch this. So okay, let's move on to the next chart pattern that I'm going to be talking about today. I don't know if I'll be able to get to 5 because of our time. I don't want this video to be too long, but then I'll try to do justice as much as possible. Now the third chart pattern I'm going to be talking about today is what I call the flag pattern. And of course, if you know me or my students know, that is one of the patterns I love the most, because trust me, whenever I see a flag pattern, it's most times gives you huge profit return margins, And yeah, we have the bullish version and we have the bearish version. Now notice how we have both versions for each of these chart patterns. That's why they are so very wonderful if you know how to use them, if you learn how to use them. So yeah, we have the flag patterns. Now I'll show you the bullish version. The bullish version of the flag pattern is probably, or let me start with the bearish version. I'll start with the bearish version. Now for some reason, let's say price pulls back all the way down to this area, and then you notice as price B starts to rally. Now that was too long. As price starts to rally, now you notice price does some form of pullback, but now when you look at the pullback, you notice that it is within a particular area. It's just within this area. It did not break out. Now if you look at this, this is literally the flag, your pole, and then the flag body. And then most times you wait for a breakout of this area. Now you see price do something like this, or you could use this area and then targets towards the high. Now this is for the bullish version. Now I want to talk about the bearish version of this. Now the bearish version of this will be, you notice price starts to sell and then it tries to pull back, but now all of sorry, let me zoom out. All right, so yeah, now the bearish version, you notice price just stays within this particular area, and then for some reason it just keeps doing this, it doesn't break out of that zone. Now if you look at this, this is like a flag upside down. Now that's the bearish version. Now most times you want to wait for a break below this area or a break below this new area here, and then you target towards the low with your stop loss somewhere above this area here. So this is the flag pattern. Now quickly let me see if I can cover the 5 of them before the end of this video. All right, the next one will be the cup and handle. Now the cup and handle is very rare, like you don't often come across it, but anytime you have the cup and handle um pattern, it's another beautiful pattern. So I want to show you how I use the cup and handle. Okay. um, so yeah, we have the cup and handle. Okay, I have barely 50 seconds, so I'm just gonna do it quick. Okay, yeah, the cup and handle. Now the cup and handle is literally like this. You notice price gives you some form of curve, and then it breaks out of the handle and continues to skyrocket. So now for the bearish version is literally the opposite of that. So I think I'll stop here, and I hope to see you in another video. Have a lovely evening.